Shalom, call on Yahweh, Shalom, Shalom to the left. It's just a follow-up on that other video showing the pride of Esau. Now let me let this play. Hey man, hey, Esau through man. This shit be so beautiful just seeing this. Seeing how real it is. Let me go to this preset real quick. Book of Obadiah, verse 3, it says, "The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high. That says in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" This how they feel. Can't nobody fuck with them. Got your women in the military and shit. They on the front lines. A lot of women gonna be out there in the front lines too. When shit defend, when shit kick off, they want to be equal. Hey, their ass gonna be right out there in the front lines. Now, verse 4 says, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou sit thy nest among the stars, then shall I bring thee down to the ground, says the Lord." And that's what's gonna happen, man. Esau gonna get brought the fuck down. And we ain't gotta do nothing. Like, you hear them stories about the revolutions and all the other stuff like that. Let me go to this precept. We ain't gotta do nothing. Just bring this word out. Help seal the elect. As soon as they get sealed, hey, we up out of here. Of course, you got the different prophecies. They're supposed to come to pass. Mark of the beast, RFID chip. Jacob's trouble. Then that third woe. Then in the midst of that third woe, that's when Yahweh Shai gonna show up with the top archangel, Michael, and the rest of the angels. Now it's in the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 1, it says, "The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whatsoever he will." So he can put the spirit on them to go sit down, they can go have talks. Like I was looking at something recently, a day ago, I was talking about Turkey trying to reach out to the U.S. administration, but they've been playing around, giving them the runaround. So I want to say the one guy, I can't think his name, was that Erdogan or something like that. He actually been turning to other people. So that's prophecy coming to pass as well. Let me go to this other precept. Some book of Revelation, chapter 16. I'm gonna start at, see if I'm gonna start as anything right now. Yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 13. It says, "And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth into the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of Yahweh Almighty. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame." Because you're really supposed to be watching. Of course, you work and you have your women you deal with or whatever, and family stuff and all that. But the main thing that should be on the top of your mind is this type of stuff. All the other shit come after this, because you don't want to be naked and ashamed. You're like, damn, I should have been paying attention, or I should have been doing this, doing that. And it says, "And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon." Let's see when we go down. Verse 17 says, "And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty the earthquake, and so great. And the great city was divided into three parts, and the cities of the nations fell. and great Babylon came in remembrance before Yahweh, to give unto the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed Yahweh because of the plagues of hell. For the plague thereof was exceeding great, because certain men, they're not going to get hit by this type of destruction that's going to happen and take place. You're going to have certain people that actually get delivered, but the ones that don't, they're gonna be cussing out the Most High. They're going to be pissed off, they're going to be mad, saying, why you let this happen to me? But they weren't watching. They weren't watching. They weren't keeping their garments. They weren't reading. They weren't edifying. They weren't practicing the commandments. And ultimately, if you ain't know the elect, out of one right to I'm of that number. Hey, you ain't know that number, you ain't making it out of here. If you take that chip, you definitely ain't making it out of here. Now I'm going to go to this other precept where it goes back into how the earthquake goes, shake up the earth. The only thing that's going to really shake the earth like that is once them arrows hit around zero. Go into this real quick. Book of Isaiah chapter 24 verse 20, it says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and shall fall and not rise again. And Esau earth definitely gonna fall. They like to paint them little images talking about the end of the world, the sun exploding, or earth getting sucked into a black hole, whatever little nonsense they come up with. But the scriptures clearly say the earth abideth forever, so let me get that. Just for edification's sake. This book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 4, it says, one generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So Esau come up with all these little movies, the end of the world, 2012, all whatever little nonsense movies they come up with saying the earth gonna fall. It ain't gonna be no new earth. We gotta go find another planet. Cause they scared. That's why they're going out of space. They scared. They want to escape. They know their judgment coming, so they feel like them sitting in nest in the stars. That's gonna be their escape route. And Esau's so fucking proud. When I say Esau, I mean the top elites. Cause the low level Edomites, they don't really know for real. But the elites, they know. They have the scholars. They read these scriptures. They know the scriptures. They see the chariots. They don't see the angels. They see men actually breaking down these scriptures. They never went to no seminary school, no theological school. And the scriptures say that will happen in these times. And they still feel like they can flee and get away from the wrath of the Most High. That's some real proud ass shit. Now, well, what happens with that pride though? This book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 8. It say pride goeth before destruction, and the haughty spirit before fall. So, hey, look at you got Esau with this shit.
America is back.
This is what they do around the world, man. And you gotta, coming to a Middle Eastern nation near you. And it's so heavy and spiritual that it's gonna be like that, because that's exactly what they're gonna be at. Over there in the valley of Jehoshaphat. I'm gonna just read some more precepts to line up with this. And I'll just end this off. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 13. It says, to fear the Lord is to hate evil. I hate arrogant pride, evil conduct, and perverse speech. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 2. It says, when pride comes, disgrace follows, but with humility comes wisdom. Because you want to be wise, you got to be humble enough. You can know vast amounts of information, but you got to know, okay, I might know all this stuff, but let me chill out so I can learn something else too, because there's still more stuff to learn. Now in the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 19, it says, he who loves transgressions loves strife. He who builds his gate high invites and destruction. And that's Esau, talking about building that gate and setting up all these different borders and all that stuff. That invites destruction. Now, in verse 18, chapter 18 in the book of Proverbs, verse 12, it says, before his downfall, a man's heart is proud, but humility comes before honor. Book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 23, it says, a man's pride will bring him low, but a humble spirit will obtain honor. And don't nobody honor Esau. They don't honor none of that shit that they doing. That's why you got China building islands and shit over there in the Pacific. You got Iran. They don't give a fuck about no contract with the nuclear treaty and none of that. Russia took. They don't honor none of that stuff because Esau proud. And they like to go around forcing their little agenda on every other nation. But it says, but a humble spirit will obtain honor. And people will respect you when you be humble, you be chilling. You can be raw, but you ain't gotta promote it as much. People will see it when they see it. Esau with this. With back, that shit. Back to do what? Do more of this? Let's see what other preset I want to pull. I'll pull this last one out in this up. It's in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 29. I'm going to just read on down to this. Talk about it, just judgment on Babylon. Let's see. But yeah, I'm going to start at verse 69, jump down to 29. Says, I was listening to a song earlier that made me think about this as well. It says, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. You have a lot of people, they always say, we from Africa or whatever. They don't even know the name Africa come from a Roman general. A place wasn't called Africa. They forget where we actually really came from. And in elementary school, they were teaching us about the Exodus. And then they'll go right after that and teach about slavery. So they was really letting us know who we were in certain classes. Now, I ain't too sure exactly how much they talk about that in the history classes, but they definitely was talking about it back then. Verse 7, it says, all that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord. Which was true, because our people definitely went off, sinned against the Lord, didn't keep the commandments, was setting up idols, worshiping women, niggas doing all type of stuff they weren't supposed to be doing. It says the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. But see, what they forgot was, even though a lot of our people did that, the Most High kept a remnant that wouldn't bow down to none of this nonsense, that actually turn back and repent and seek Him. So He can do this right here. It's in the book of Jeremiah, still in chapter 50 and verse 29, it says, call together the archers against Babylon, all you that bend the bow, camp against it round about, let none thereof escape, recompense her according to her work, according to all that she hath done, do unto her. For she hath been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. And that's what's going to happen, man. Verse 30, I'm going to read on some more. It said, therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her young men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord. Behold, I'm against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord, power of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee, and most proud shall stumble and fall. There are a lot of people, especially now, oh my goodness, man, I be honest, I'm finna go inside, I'm chilling, I ain't finna go out. People being proud and doing extra little silly shit. Not even realizing, man, these countries been gathering them arrows, and they got them aimed over here. When you think of that, and visualize that, what they gonna be doing with that? Why would they aim them over here? Well, the scripture said why they gonna aim them over here. Now it says, and none shall raise him up, and I will kindle a fire in the cities, and it shall devour all round about him. And man, Hey, this some serious shit, man. This ain't no joke. Let me see what other precepts I'm gonna pull out of this. I'll end this off. Alright, I'm gonna read them down. I'll just end this off with the rest of this chapter. I don't got that many more verses. It's in verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together. That's how you know who is who. A lot of people grew up around, whether it been Puerto Ricans or Mexicans or Dominicans or Haitians or so-called Indians or whatever. They've been oppressed together. So you know who is who. It says, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. But Esau definitely don't want us to go nowhere. That's why we got to get a passport to go across seas. Because if we were actually free, we could just pack up our shit right now, get your luggage, and go to another place, buy your house, apartment or whatever, get your vehicles, and all this different stuff. That shit don't work like that. You got to go get citizenship. That's Esau refusing to let you go. It said their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. And his name is actually Yahweh. That's what his name is. It said he shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. Because the sword is upon the Chaldeans, said the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, upon her princes and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. So the sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. You're gonna see a lot of these niggas already becoming as women anyway, but you're really gonna see niggas become as women when shit the fan out here. All that pretty boy shit. You're gonna see that, and you're gonna be like, damn. And that's why the book of Isaiah say 7 women should take hold of 1 man, because they gonna see all these bitch ass niggas folding up, and then they gonna see certain men carrying themselves in a godly manner, and where they gonna want to go at. And a lot of women gonna get curved too. They're not gonna get picked. They want to be proud and run around and be extra. You know, this ain't about that. I just want to say that because it does say that right here, and they should become as women. It says, a sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is the land of graven images, and they are mad upon the idols. Therefore the wild beasts of the desert, the wild beasts of the island shall dwell there, and the owls shall dwell there, and it shall be no more inhabited forever, neither shall it be dwelt there from generation to generation. Now, if the earth gonna disappear, why would some damn owls and wild beasts be dwelling in a certain spot though, but the earth gonna go somewhere else? Now, that's not accurate, but that's what Esau like to put up. Now, verse 40 says, as Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and their neighboring cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. Behold, people shall come from the north, and a great nation of many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And that's what you're going to see happening real soon. It's not in the next 100 years, 200 years, or 50 years. This is like at the doorstep type shit. You see that? Pay attention to the news. They talking about moving the doomsday clock 100 seconds to 12 o'clock. And why are they doing that? Now it says, they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea. They shall ride upon horses, everyone that put in array, like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. The king of Babylon have heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as of a woman in travail. Behold, he should come up like a lion in the swelling of Jordan, to the habitation of the strong, but I will make him suddenly run away from her. And who is a chosen man, that I may appoint over her? For who is like me, and who will appoint me the time? Who is it? Who is that shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, he that taken against Babylon and his purposes, that he had proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock, like I mentioned, the least of the flock, you got it right here. Israel and U.S. fear Iran. And what do a scary person do, or somebody scared do? Normally they attack first because they just scared. Now it says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely He shall make their habitation desolate with them. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. And they're going to see all this stuff now, because a lot of places they're going to have television broadcasting certain stuff. That's why the book of Revelation said, many that stood off afar, saw the smoke going up. They're going to see this stuff now. There's going to be some serious shit going on over there. And the Most High letting it be known. See, certain pastors, they not letting people know about this shit. They telling you, oh, go get married and be prosperous and all this stuff and go do all this and do all that. In reality, judgment on Babylon coming. So I just want to bring this out. Esau being proud as usual. But like the scripture say, pride go up before destruction. Shalom.